Good evening and welcome to Saturday night number 70 of the Speak Up Club initiative by Living Life. When we thought about the topic for what we want to do tonight, we thought why not talk about what has become a part of our life for the last 69 weeks and running with the 70th session now. The session is going to be about rituals and what you do, why you do, and what are the benefits that you get out of a ritual. It is often said the word ritual in itself means a sequence of events or activities that involves gestures, words, action, or objects performed according to a set sequence. Now, the reasoning behind that can be religious or a tradition that you follow in your family in the places that you are in. As an example, a school could have a ritual of the morning prayer, or before you have a meal at your house, you could have a prayer of thanking God for that meal. Or a religious ritual can be about different things that your religion teaches you, and that ritual helps you connect with what you're doing. So we are not limiting to any ritual that you follow. All we are looking forward to in today's session is about the ritual and the spirit behind it. And mind you, let me again tell you, this is not going to be a debate. What we are listening to is a perspective that you're going to share and not going to debate about the reasoning or making it a counter argument of this is a good practice or a bad practice. The idea is sharing your ritual. But before I move into the details and we get going with opening the stage for all of you all to start sharing your rituals, because I see a lot of new people over here, let me share what we do at the Speak Up Club. The Speak Up Club began in 2020, 23rd of May. And this is our 70th session that we have been doing since we began on 23rd of May. What we do, we meet every Saturday night at 9 p.m. What we do here specifically is host a range of life skills based themes which are open for discussion, open for sharing of perspectives, and building our knowledge and skill set on life skills. Why do we do it? We as individuals grow and build from what we learn, and what we can learn is from so many people of diverse background having different perspectives coming to this platform and sharing the perspectives. That perspectives expands the horizon of our mind. Whether you agree or not is a different matter, but this platform helps you recognize the different perspectives and alternatives of thoughts that you can have to build a meaningful and fulfilling life. And how do we do it? We respect everyone who shares their perspective. We reflect on our own story and our own learning from that perspective which is being shared, and we seek to know the answers if someone else has something to offer. With due respect to everyone, there's nothing like a right or a wrong perspective. It drives from your own experience of what you've gone through in life. Me and Pragya are the host for the Speak Up Club initiative, and we run this initiative. We have been doing that for the last 70 weeks now, but we are not the authority. We are not the trainers. We are not the body of knowledge which is running this initiative. The initiative in itself is driven by each one of you all who are coming to the platform sharing your perspective. So, in effect, you own the initiative, not us. We are just facilitators and moderators to what is happening on this platform. With that, let's move on to the world of rituals. Let's see who's going to go on for the first to share a ritual that they follow. Let's see if we have too many of ideas, I'll be controlling it. Otherwise, the idea is share what your ritual is, what is the spirit behind that, and what impact it leaves on you while you follow that ritual. I'll leave it open for whoso wants to come first. Uma ma'am, please rescue me, as always.
Shall I give my view? Hello? Yeah.
Sure, ma'am.
So let me tell one ritual which I have been following for the past maybe 1.5 years. Every day morning around maybe 5 o'clock, we have a group of 5 to 6 friends, and we have a con call in the morning. Yes, you heard it right. Morning 5 a.m. Why 5 a.m.? One, to make us get up in the morning, and one, to motivate each other. So we speak on different topics. One person gives the topic, and all the other five give their opinion regarding that topic. So it is only for maximum 15 minutes. So by the time all the con call is connected, it's around 5:10. So by 5:30, we wind up. And that keeps us going throughout the day. And we had not met each other. We are only WhatsApp friends. And it so happened that last year we had a chance to meet, and it was a great occasion. So this ritual has made me committed towards getting up early in the morning. And when you are motivated, like with some, what do you say, encouraging or inspiring talk, you feel inspired the whole day. Like Robin Sharma says, follow the 20-20-20 rule. So get up and do some exercise, all your serotonin levels, your hormones are up. And then when you read some inspiring book or listen to some motivating speech, you feel good. And then you plan your day. So this has made me inspired, and it keeps me going throughout the day. So from 5 to maybe 11:30 at night, it keeps me going. Maybe I just have a wink or two in the afternoon, going through the mobile or something. Otherwise, I'm quite active throughout the day. So you can also follow such rituals. I'm sure I'll be eager to hear about that from your side too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. I think that deserves a round of applause. For the last 1.5 years, she's over 50, waking up at 5 a.m. I'm sure with half an hour, after that half an hour, I believe nobody can get back to sleep. And I so resonate with you, but it's not a daily thing that I do. But this Speak Up Club initiative has been something like that for me, wherein I know I've always said this. I could skip a beat. A week will never skip a Saturday. A Saturday will never skip a 9 p.m. And that's how it has become for me as a ritual. Wonderful initiative, wonderful ritual, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that. I believe it should motivate a lot of people over here, the young lads especially, for waking up at 5 a.m. Especially the ones who are sleeping at 5 a.m. It should ring a bell. With that, let's move on to the next person would like to share their ritual. Who's coming up next? Anyone? Each one of you all have to share something, because I believe each one of us lives a life wherein there's some part of it at some point in a day, in a month, in a year, that you do something which is a norm, which is a sequence. Sri Krishna, you're waiting for me to call you?
No, nothing like that. So I am also thinking, means right now the thing is, I'm not following something like a ritual or all, but I would like to share something which is again from 5 years ago, I would say, because before 5 years ago, I used to, I like Ramayana very much for some reason. So the reason is, in sixth class, in the CBSE syllabus, there was one book called Ramayana, and from there, I like to read Ramayana, and I began to narrate Ramayana to people. And one good thing which I like to appreciate to myself, one thing that is, if we look at serials and all, if one place if they show to be continued from the, like for example, Jatayu rescued Sita. I mean that sequence from there. After Jatayu fell, I continue from there. So that was kind of a ritual. But right now, I mean, right now I am. Right now I don't have this. Right now I don't have any ritual. That's why I am thinking. Means I am doing some things like reading something about stock market, one thing, and that is also kind of a ritual, but not literally reading, but I watch some YouTube videos about it. So that's what I'm doing now.
Wonderful. I believe the idea behind the ritual is for you to start doing something while
Yes.
your subconscious mind operates. While
Yeah.
there's a spirit behind it, the way you do it. And that was a wonderful ritual that you shared. I believe carrying forward the storyline that you heard will come up next, and narrating the Ramayana to others. It's
Yes.
wonderful. It's a great practice, I believe. All I would say is start reflecting on the impact doing something like that as a ritual had on you. And remember, if there
It's
was an
actually
impact,
good impact.
exactly. So the idea is to always find the reason to get back to that ritual, to get the benefit that you got at that point in time. So thank you, Sri Krishna,
Actually,
for sharing that. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
actually, I would like to add one more thing is that when this, that Ramanand Sagar Ramayan came in, the DD TV and recently it came in Colors TV also. I mean, some months ago. So I watched that also. So still I have that interest to listen to Ramayana. I will be the first person to watch TV if Ramayana comes. So that is
Wonderful.
it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Sri Krishna, for sharing that. Adi sir, would you like to go next?
Yes, of course.
Yes, Adi
Thank
sir,
you
go
very
ahead.
much.
Shreya, I'll
Good
come to you
evening,
next.
everybody. Good evening, everybody. Well, by ritual, do you mean to say that something we do regularly for a period of time? Something
Could
like
be
that?
anything. Could be anything. It can. I would just classify it as a next step to a habit. A habit could be just a set of patterns, but a ritual has a reasoning and a spirit behind it. So, would like to know that.
Yeah, reasoning as well as sometimes it is a religious obligation as well. So I must say that I get up very early. That is every day before 4. Before 4. Rarely I get up late, rarely. And never after sunrise. Never after sunrise. That's one thing. And I offer prayers and then I do yoga every day. And I check my BP because I have high blood pressure. So early in the morning when I check, and it will be interesting for you to know that normally it is very high early in the morning, as high as 167 over 107. But after doing yoga, it comes down to normal, 120, 80, even 110, 70. Every day I check that two times. And there are, if you talk about religious rituals, at each and every step, at each and every movement, there is a supplication. We do not call it ritual. Ritual will not be a suitable term for that. For example, before going to bed, we pray, we offer, we say something to God. That is the point is to get connected with the Supreme always. After getting up in the morning, before entering the washroom, after getting out of that, before leaving home, after reaching home, before riding your vehicle, and any moment before putting on your clothes, before drinking water, before eating, after drinking water, after eating, when there is a thunderstorm, when there is normal rain, when there is heavy rain, any moment. But very few people follow that. And the point, the idea, the spirit behind that is that to be connected with the Lord, with the Supreme all the time, with the Almighty. So there are so many steps. And I am one of those less than 1% Muslims who practice this. Less than 1%. And I never miss the morning prayer. Before sunrise. Maybe during the day, some of them I could miss, but that one, no, it's not possible. Really. There's so many things. The main idea, Rahul, is just to be connected with the Lord and not to forget him, and to remember that you are accountable on the day of judgment for your deeds. What did you contribute? What was the legacy you left behind? Okay, did you harm someone? And if you talk about brooding things, then I feed cats. I have this packet, I brought it. I feed, there are 3 cats in the parking lot. So I feed them, and that gives me a lot of satisfaction. There are so many things. So I think that will be enough for today. Let others share their experiences.
Thank you, Sadi sir. Dinesha, I'll come to you next. You have a question, Dinesha, or you want to share?
I want to share.
Okay, I'll come to you next. I'm just coming after Sadi sir. Thank you, Sadi sir, first of all, for sharing such deeper meaning to what you do. And I believe when you said it right, that your connection with the Lord is what makes you do all those things. And rightfully said, each of these practices where there's a reasoning to every little thing that you do, like you mentioned, the host of things, right from every detail that you do. The reason is your connection with the Lord. And there we talk of it. To do things because you have a reason. The rituals for a large part of people, the following or continuation of rituals comes from this very factor that they are convinced with the reasoning and the spirit behind that ritual. So whatever you do, if you have the reason and you're connecting well with that, the ritual follows. Like Umamam said, waking up at 5 a.m., they have a reason to it. Sarisa said, his connection with the Lord for the things that he does. As an example, I might not be, and to be open with you all, I'm not a very religious person, as in the world calls or looks for the religion, going to a temple or doing my prayers or doing something like that. I'm not into that, but that does not say that I'm not connected to the Lord. Like Sarisa said, it's a silent one-to-one relationship with you and your Lord and how you're accountable to Him. The answer lies in the practices that you do, the smaller ones, and are you truthful to yourself? That is where the answer of the ritual and the reasoning to it lies. Thank you, Sarisa, first of all, for sharing such wonderful rituals that you practice and the reasoning behind that. Let's move on to next. I'll go with Shreya first and then come to you, Dinesha. Is that okay? Wonderful. Shreya, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Every day, one thing I do is from morning to evening, if I be drowsy also, evening I'll go to Pakka, I need to go to tuition. Otherwise, I'll feel very bored. If I go to tuition also, if there is no sir also, I'll play with my friends or read something. Like it's fun to go to tuition. People think it as like it's very stressful to go to tuition and learn things, but it's very much fun. I learn with my friends. I play with them. They make fun of me. I'll make fun of them, and it has become a habit. Today I came to my grandmother's house. I didn't go to tuition today. I felt very bored, and I called them and spoke for 1 hour. So that's my ritual I follow every day.
Interesting ritual. Shreya, I think the reasoning is wonderful, and what you get out of doing something is something which you are clear about. Thank you for sharing that. Can we go with the Dinesha next?
Thank you very much, sir. So past 1.5 year, I have adopted a one ritual that normally when we reach from the office around 6 o'clock or 6:30, that is a normal tendency sit next to television. From past 1 year, somewhere I realized that from the one of the webinar, that is the good time we can utilize in a better way. So that instead of watching TV, normally when you see that Kannada, Sarigamapa, Dance Karnataka Dance, these are all the entertainment program, they have a skills, they will entertain us. What I am going to get with that? I have realized that instead of sitting next to TV, what is going to help you in future, so that I have converted this time into a learning time. That is the one ritual I am following from past 1.5 year. Instead of sitting television, I'll sit with my mobile during time. Whatever my areas of interest are there, I'll go with YouTube, watching YouTube videos, or I am improving my public speaking skills or storytelling skills, where I'll like dedicate my time. That is the one ritual I am following. That is the reason I have a lot of content to share with the public, where I meet, there are some valid topic. If any topic comes, because more information I have fed in myself, I have something to share with the public or with colleagues, friends. That is the one thing. Second ritual I want to share is that I am married 5 years back. I have a baby. During early stage of my marriage, I have come across a lot of problems because she born in a different geography. There is different. My way of thinking, everything is different. One wise person shared me that you have to treat your wife as like you would stand like her father. Her father, how he treat her as a daughter. So that being a husband, if any situation comes, circumstance, any fight, any moment comes, I started things how his father will treat. I will be stand in that position, I'll think, so that the problem will be solved there itself. At the same time, how my wife will treat me, like any situation, any problem comes, how she'll treat her son. If you adopt this method, most of the problem will be solved, so that we are like very happy. Normally in life, so many problems will come across. That is obvious. But in situation when we adopt this technique or method, within like few minutes, that problem will be solved. We are very happy. And the third ritual I want to share is that I was a yoga practitioner. I was there in Patanjali Yoga for I practiced almost 1 year. There was a 1 week session. They took me for the next level, basic level to next level. There around 2 days they served only vegetable. One day full vegetables. One day there is no salt, there is no oil, nothing. Full there is we cannot able to like visualize what is food. That was the condition. That day I realized from almost 4 to 5 years now, I will not depend upon the taste or even how the food is. The food is good now. Whether it is salt is there, oil is there, taste is there, I'm not bothered. I will happily eat because happiness is not there with the outside or a material or food or whatever is there. Happiness is there inside. I will enjoy eating that food. And at the same time, I'll apply, even I have a capacity to eat this much extra, I'll stop there itself. In that case, normally I'll have 4 to 5 times, I'll have including evening snacks with having a like a gap in between. If it is, I'll stop it 80% itself, so that I will feel like, if you look at my body itself, you can imagine I'm maintaining this personality. These are the 3 rituals I follow, and I'm getting benefit also.
Thank you, Dinesh. I think those are some wonderful rituals that you shared. The first one about learning, building the habit of learning and being a learner for always. The second about the relationship. I think I'm going to use that and try that technique that you shared about shifting the role when there are differences from being a father to my wife thinking me as a son. And I think that's an interesting perspective that you shared. Wonderful ritual, I believe, worth a try for everyone. I believe whosoever is there in the meeting, do give it a shot. And I believe in a few weeks you should be getting back to how this has panned out for you. And finally, the last practice about food. Interestingly, a lot of nutritionists tell about this ritual, this practice that you talked about, not looking at what the quality or taste of the food is while you're having it, because then you become the servant to food. On the contrary, also looking at how much you're having and how much gap is there in your stomach while you're having something. Otherwise, again, you become a servant to the food. Thank you, Dinisha, for sharing that. Who'd like to go next? I am waiting for.
May I?
Akansha?
Okay, Akanksha. Okay, we have Rabia, and then I'll come on to who's coming up next.
No, let Akanksha finish. Then
Akanksha, you raised your hand. Yes, now you have to. Everyone is wanting to hear to you now. Go ahead.
The ritual I'd want to share is definitely my journey with Speak Up Club, because every Saturday now, coming from like 16 months or something, I don't even remember what I used to do on a Saturday night before. It's like I'm used to this ritual, used to this practice of coming here every night, every Saturday at 9 p.m. And now everyone in the house, also everyone, my relatives, friends, everyone know that I won't be free at Saturday 9 p.m. So they're like, wait, you have your session, you have the Speak Up Club session. So this has become a kind of practice which I got used to, and which has actually helped me in learning a lot of things. First thing being actually sticking to something rather than getting distracted. Following a proper practice and coming like every Saturday. So that has been something I really learned. And plus, every Saturday, it'll be a different topic. So a wide range of topics and a wide range of perspectives coming through. I did learn a lot from these.
Interesting. Thank you, Akansha, for sharing that. And I believe for whosoever has not been coming to the Speak Up Club, let me share the fact that we are the host. While there's been one person who's been consistent to Speak Up Club initiative from the 70 sessions, she's attended over 69 sessions in this initiative. And she's all of 14, 15, wherever she began with, when she started to join this club. And I'm proud of the fact that she talks and she stands for what a ritual does to you. When you talk of a ritual, now, like she mentioned, her relatives, her cousins, who's there, when there's a place for the ritual and everyone is aware of what you do, nobody dares to bother you or disturb that ritual. That becomes a norm for the life that you have. Like Sadisa mentioning, getting up at early morning and doing the prayers, or Uma ma'am, at 5 o'clock, nobody dare her, even her husband, tell her today skip it, because that's the power of what rituals do that. And when you know a ritual is working wonders for you, remember, there's no other deadly combination than to have something you following as a ritual and you reaping the benefits from that ritual. So I'm not referring only to Akanksha's point over here, to everyone, whatever you're doing, however you're doing, if you have a reason to it and it is giving you or showcasing the benefits of that to you, I think that's a combination that's going to take you far, far ahead, come what may. Let's move to the next speaker. Let's invite Rabia.
Yes, sir. Good
Rabia,
evening.
चेहरा दिखाओगे आज? Okay, if you're not prepared, okay, no issues. Okay, we can
It's
still.
okay, no problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
for me, ritual I could say is the holy month of Ramzan. I find it to be the most precious one, the most beneficial one. It is meant for the same, and I feel that kind of a spirit and that kind of satisfaction. Though the rest of the months of the year is also followed to be the same way, but particularly in that particular month, I feel a lot of difference. A kind of connectivity which we have with the Lord, you can call it to be that you can just test it, you can get the results of it. The only thing what I can say is the month which is called to be the holy month of all the other months of Muslim means calendar called to be. And in that particular month, we are supposed to fast for 30 days. I hope you all know about it. From morning, from dawn to dusk, that is before sunrise, we have to just finish our breakfast. That is called as seher. And then after we need to follow without drinking a drop of water and food or anything to touch with till the sun sets. So this kind of practice make you, it's not only just to stop you from eating anything as such, it is something which makes you to control your all your senses as well. You're not supposed to speak anything. You're not supposed to listen to anything which is wrong. You're not actually, this thing is just meant for 1 month practice kind of a thing, you can say, which should be followed for rest of the next months till the next year. So again, you will be in the same regime of following the things. And one way, if we are going to do that for throughout the year, then definitely there is no person on this earth planet, I can say, will do any harm or any wrong in their lives. They will turn out to be like angels, you can say. But generally people forget about it. They just try to feel and focus on a thing that only in this particular month we are supposed to be restricted for all such kind of things. But that kind of restrictions, if we follow like rituals, then definitely every person will be not less than an angel, I can say. So there are so many things to add to it, I can. But the thing is that what I feel is the prayers, you get accustomed to it strictly, particularly because you're fasting. Otherwise, your fast will not be accepted if you do not perform all the 5 times prayers. And the Holy Book Quran, what we call it to be, we need to recite and complete it in that particular 1 month itself. So these are certain things which we need to follow actually throughout our life. But the thing is, we just focus on that particular month. So I feel at least if not done throughout the year, but that month, some people will do it. And when they do it, they will understand the reality of life and what is the purpose of our life is. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Rabia, for sharing those details about what you do as a ritual, especially in that month of Ramzan. I've had a lot of good close friends in Muslims too. And I was always surprised when I looked at this practice from the sunrise to the sunset, wherein you don't have anything, not even water, and even you can't gulp your own spit. So you can't
Yes, exactly.
gulp your own
Saliva
saliva.
also. Yes.
So the practice made me wonder, what is it that drives people to do something like this? And more importantly, the result of it. When I look at it, I think you have already answered that. Sadi sir, would you like to add something there?
Yes, I just wanted to make a correction here.
Sure.
Saliva is not prohibited. The only thing prohibited is that to collect it in the mouth and drink it to quench your thirst. Otherwise, normal saliva, if you swallow it, there is nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for that. This is where we are talking of the perspectives coming into picture, where we get to know the deeper stories and the reasoning behind that. Now, while I was sharing about this very practice, it made me wonder, why do you do and what is the benefit of it? And that's
To
where, from my
control ourselves.
interactions, yeah, that's where I got from the responses from a lot of my friends, wherein I realized the control that you get over your own life and becoming a master of every little detail that is there in your life is something that you learn from such a practice. And that, I believe, makes us accountable. Like Sadi sir said, makes us accountable to our Lord, and that we are in control rather than doing something or in the flow or doing some things which are beyond our control and being just giving a reasoning that we are doing something for the sake of it. Sadi sir, you want to add something?
Yes, Rahulji, I want to say that the spirit behind fasting is that, if a person is fasting, he can go somewhere where nobody's seeing and eat and drink, but we do not do that because it reminds us that God is seeing us, the Lord is seeing us. So that is just keep that in your mind that he's looking at you every time, not just only this month, every time, all your life he is there. So that is the point there. Fear
Wonderful,
of
wonderful.
God.
Another
And that
alternative.
kind of
Yes,
spirituality, yeah,
yes, Rabia, go ahead.
that kind of
That's it.
spirituality, what you can feel at that time, you can never, because in the ordinary normal days, if you skip breakfast or lunch or anything, you become restless. You can't, at least, okay, food you can avoid, but water you can't live without it. But in that month, you can test and check yourself. You can bear everything. In a hot summer at a temperature of even 40 to 45 also, a person can stay back without drinking water because you're fasting. That kind of a spirit, what you feel, that is a direct connectivity with the God, I can say, as what I feel. Is not so, Sadi sir?
Yes, and one more thing, what I personally feel, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, it is because of the team spirit, I believe, because collectively the whole community does the same thing. So you get encouragement. Look, everybody else is doing, so why not myself? So that team spirit is also there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sadi sir, for sharing that. Let me talk about the alternate over here, wherein the ritual is done as a series of steps to be done without the spirit. As for everyone else, it's not applicable to just one community or one religion. I've seen a lot of people do things as a community because everyone else is doing, and because it has to be done at a certain point in time. The very reason a ritual works is only because it is connected to the spirit. Otherwise, it becomes just a combination of 1 plus 1 plus 1 steps together without the benefit, you reaping the benefit as a result of doing it without the spirit of it. So just make sure while you're doing something as a ritual, always remember the reasoning behind it and connect to that rather than just doing it because a community is doing it or a group of people are doing it or doing it just for the name of it because someone has told you. Thank you, sir. And I believe for actually for a lot of people also to find a reason to doing a ritual because they're not aware, they stop doing it. But when you know the reason, I believe a lot of people start to do things because they know this is where the dots are connecting while you're doing a ritual. So a lot of people, a lot of parents, I say, I've seen parents saying, go to the temple, go do the diya, or go do something because they are doing it or telling someone to do as an act, not with the spirit which is there behind it. And that is where the difference lies for the people who are willingly starting to do a ritual, is where they are convinced with the reasoning to it. You need to start to look at the reasoning and the benefits, sometimes not directly equated to the results, because a spirit of God or a spirit of belief cannot be talked of in an equation, but it can be told in the stories that you have to share to anyone, for anyone to believe and start doing something as a ritual. I'll stop there. Let me move on to the next person who's coming up next. Rashmi or Vijaya, anyone would like to say? Yes, Bhavagya, I'll go with you first. Yes, I'll come back to you, Rashmi.
Yes. Yes, sir. Like, I haven't been following any ritual these days. In case of religion, I should say that I'll be forced to open the puja room door. Not every day, simply because that isn't my habit, but only on some prominent occasions like Dashera, Diwali, or Sankranti. But the thing that makes me feel so happy about ritual is that people come around, like they gather, taking money from grandfather, talking to cousins who are of my age and eating food which you don't get at home, and also taking rest from books, of course. Like they set up that fun environment, and that's what ritual means to me.
Wonderful. Thank you for talking about how people are brought together. Like in Jains, specifically in Jains, we have a festival called as Pajushan. It comes once in a year for 8 days, and that is a time where I connect with a lot of our family, friends, relatives, cousins who are a part of whom we have grown up with and spent days, especially during this time. And I believe it's a wonderful practice. As a part of this, especially as I told you, I'm not too religious, but there's one practice that we call as the Pratikaman, which is there on the last day of a ritual of this 8 day festival. There's one festival, there's something called as Pratikaman that we do. It's almost like 2.5 hour process through which we are seeking forgiveness for all the things that we have done in the year which have taken us back, which have hurt any soul in different forms, where we are seeking forgiveness. This is one ritual that I love about our community, where it is called as Michami Dukram, wherein the end of this thing, you if you any one of you all have any Jains in your friends list, you would have seen a message from them on their status, on their Facebook, in whatever forms on this day, and it has just recently passed. So I'm just talking of a 1 month back period when we were done with this festival, on the end of which we seek forgiveness. And that I believe is a wonderful ritual that we have, that we follow once in a year, and it let goes of all the pains that we are carrying for a long time and seek forgiveness for all the things that we have done wrong, knowingly or unknowingly. That's one ritual that I'm proud of in our community. And I stand by that every year. I look forward to this ritual and following which there's a lot of calm, there's a lot of peace within me for having made that attempt to seek forgiveness. How many of you all do it? May not be as a religious practice, but how many of you all have let go of the burden that you are carrying for hurting someone and yet not seeking their forgiveness? That's a ritual that I wanted to share from my end. Let's move on to the next. Thank you, Bhavya, for sharing that. Equally, I'm not religious. Someone tells me to go to the temple, I go. So that's how it is with me. Sorry, sir, go ahead.
Yes, you talked about forgiveness. You said you do it once a year, but we are supposed to do it every morning and evening, every day, every day. It is
Completely
recommended.
agree.
It's not obligatory, but it's strongly recommended. And I do that. I've been doing it for decades.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Like I said, it's a practice where we're talking of this is a kind of an event which happens once in a year, but it does not anywhere mean that it has to happen only once. Like the practice of Pratikaman, it's not a yearly once in affair. For the people who are religious, actually go for the Pratikaman every day also. So we have different temples, Jain temples that are there in across the country, where every evening there's someone who's called like a sadhvi or sadhu who conducts this, and the community at large attends that and does this pratikaman, which includes all this. But it's like the day of the year, which it is as a norm that in our community everyone does it for sure. That's how it is, sir. Yes, Lakshmi, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Uh, actually, what happened? Mine every Thursday I'm doing fasting. Actually, this is past 8 years I'm doing actually. So every Thursday nothing I will have. Just my friends, all they asked actually office wherever we're going, they started asking why you are doing, because of God, because of your mother told, or actually my marriage age actually they asked, because you need looking for a good girl or something like that, something like that they used to ask. But last actually, because of that I'm getting a lot of happiness, satisfaction. Again, if you scientifically being saying also, actually every 1 week, actually every day, if suppose you are not having, it will be whatever it that negative stuff something is in your body, it will be take. Actually I yesterday I seen some video that cancer cells something is there also, it will be eaten actually inside hours, like that they told. Next, actually what in my childhood, actually because our neighbors, I started going to temple. So I'll go actually frequently, weekly twice, weekly thrice. I childhood, right? So they will go, I'll also go, I'll get prasad or something like that. I started like that. So actually now also I'm following, whenever I'm going, wherever I'm going, I will go to temple there. Where is the nearest temple? I will search. I will go. I will get happiness. Then now, actually, now I'm 30 years old. I'm saying why I'm going. I started thinking myself before neighbors or someone saying I'm going. Now why I have to go? So started thinking about my friends. Again, I asked them, okay, you are all not going. Why only I'm going to temple? You are all not going. Why should I go? Like that, I started thinking. Then I said, actually, why we can do some small research like that. So then I came to know actually that temple or all whatever that is there, no, right there, the positive energy will be there. Why that actually that ladies and all they're wearing more gold and everything. The positive energy, if you're going to temple, the positive energy it will be it will be observed there. So like that they told. So I'm doing a lot of research on that. This is my personal simple. I'm checking. Reason I am in the field electrical. We will check everything. Why it's happening? Why it's happening like that? So same thing I apply in my life. So a lot of things actually, a lot of things is going on. Again, every Thursday I will go to temple. Every Saturday I will go. Just I am in a temple only. Just I came back my home. So just I'm what now it giving actually some satisfaction, some positive. I feel okay. I feel somewhat relaxed actually. So like this is going on. It's very nice to me.
Interesting.
You.
Yeah. Thank you, Lakshmana. I think that's a wonderful narrative that you have shared about what you do and why you do it. More importantly, I would request everyone to start looking out for the things that you're doing, whether your religion is saying, whether any practice has been as a norm in your family. I would always want you to look at the scientific side of it. When you look at the scientific side of it beyond just the faith, somewhere 2000 years, 3000 years ago, when this was not written as a science, someone had their own body of knowledge with which they started a certain practice. But when you look at it today, science is just proving of what you're doing as a ritual. The science behind it is working. That's what we need to start wondering and looking at different practices that you're doing, that your family carries, you carry, whatever you're doing. There's a science behind a lot of traditional practices that are in place, and people are doing that. So thank you for that. Let's move on to the next speaker. Who would like to come next? Rashmi, Vijaya.
Yes.
Yes, Rashmi, go ahead first. We are already at
Thank
9:50.
you.
We'll
Yes,
whosoever's
thank
still
you.
not got a chance, we'll get going with that. Rashmi, go ahead.
Yeah, means I would like to say every aspect of life, what you are doing, action is a ritual. For example, ritual means not like Puranas and all Rishi Muni spend their whole life behind every ritual, and we are just taking we are just copying what mother-in-law is doing. I'm doing. I don't know what it is exactly. And that is not ritual. I feel like this. And for a simple example, Valentine Day. So I'm giving rose to my boyfriend, and there is no feeling. So that ritual is meaningless. That what rose is you are giving to your boyfriend is meaningless. So every means like a spiritual. If you separate the word SPI, spirit, there is a ritual. So if there is a feeling with action, that spiritual, and without spirit, ritual is nothing. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, just give it up for Dr. Rashmi Mane. She is joining us from London. She's a homeopath, and we have seen her consistently joining our sessions. And I think every time she speaks spirituality with science. And there she goes with a wonderful explanation about the word spirituality in itself, of what it means, and everything that we do, every little thing, like connecting it with the rose that she is giving in, and the feeling or the spirit behind giving that rose even on a Valentine. So what if they're not from India? If someone in the Western world is following a spiritual, a ritual about how they want to celebrate Valentine's Day, let's look at the meaning behind that and start doing that. Thank you, Rashmi. Despite the difference of timing from Hyderabad, India and London, you still keep joining us every time, every session. So happy to see you every time. Who's coming up next? Yes, Dinesha, I would just wait for a minute. If anyone else who's still not got a chance would like to share something, I would come back to you once we don't have anyone else. Is that okay? Yes, Vijaya, go ahead.
Hello everyone. My name is Vijay. I joined first time today. I'm audible.
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah. So I want to share that spirituality. What I feel na, it's like that. It started for me like ढूंढ लेगी मंजिल हमें कभी हाथ पकड़ के कभी धक्का मार के. So it's like a धक्का मार के for me. But what is the thing that पहले before I am not praising any God and I'm not doing. I'm Jain and I'm following that now. I know only. But what is the case that in year 2013, because of something, one friend gifted me a book on of Hanumanji. So because of that, I started reading that and I got attachment. Before that, I was afraid of Hanumanji. They are male god. We don't have to go there. It's like this a thing. Every time in childhood, no, everyone is saying that we don't have to touch them. We don't have to go there and all things. But after that, it's around 8 years, 7 years or 8 years. I'm connected to Hanumanji, and I've seen so many changes in myself also. Patience increased, anger go, मतलब क्या बोलते हैं उसको? What we can say, gussa. I'm not getting that one, and magic I am seeing every day. So it's like that I'm not doing any puja, I'm not doing anything. But in the morning, I'm saying Jai Hanuman. In night, I'm saying Jai Hanuman. And once in a while, in whole day, I'm listening or I'm saying that Hanuman Chalisa. So I'm doing that thing and it's my practice. Whenever I'm going to Shiv temple also, na, so from my mouth, I'm saying Jai Hanuman. So it's like that only. So my husband is saying that if you are doing this now, other God will not forgive you, but they go inside me. So for me it's like a power. We are seeing that spirituality, no? So spirituality is not that we are doing puja every day. We मतलब मेरे case में, it's on my case that we are putting agarbatti and everything. But for me it's like if you are doing something, just tell God name to whom you are following. So मेरे लिए वो रिचुअल हो गया. मेरे हर काम में, हर चीज में, every time I am getting that Jai Hanuman. So from I started my business also, I left so many things, so many up downs. But now I am feeling that yes, I am very confident and I am very purity. We are getting purity and we are connected to ourselves now. That I am connected to myself. If nobody is there, then also I am happy. It's like that. I don't need anyone. I am happy from inside. I lost my mother 4 months back due to Corona also. In that period also, I'm feeling that I got angry on that we think that we are fighting with God sometimes. So it's like that only. And after 3 months, I went to meet Hanumanji at temple. Before that, I feel very stressful. And once I went there, I cried so much in front of him. And after that, again, the life is same. So this power I'm getting every time from Hanumanji, that so it's my to forget him anytime. It's a 365 days, 24 hours. He is in my mind. So that's my ritual for every day.
Thank you. Thank you, Vijaya, for the first time that you're joining to this club. And we have heard a soul touching story. Thank you for sharing how your life was transformed with the ritual that you had. And it was wonderful to listen to how, and it was such a candid revelation wherein when you said, even if I'm going to Shiv Mandir, I'm saying Jai Hanuman, and your husband telling you that he might feel bad and he might get angry over you. That's a wonderful thing to share. Thank you. Lovely to listen to the perspective that you shared and then the practice, the ritual that you have. Nazneen, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Rahul, and also a very good evening to all the team members. Coming to this particular team, Rahul, this team has.
I'm sorry, Nazneen, you're on mute.
Okay,
Have you
to
joined
hear
from
now?
2 devices?
No, it's just
Once again, who's by the number 2211827? I'm muting you. I'll come back to you after Nazneen. Is that okay?
2211827 is I.
Okay, and there's a video with the name Nazneen. There's a small kid.
Okay, Nazni. I don't know. This is Nandana.
Okay, Nandana.
2211827.
Okay, Nandana. Okay, go ahead, Nandana.
Okay,
Nazneen, I'll come to you next.
Yeah.
Yes, Nandana, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, this particular theme has been given me a very hard time, because we are talking about rituals here. And when I actually tried to think, I found none, because I have never been a very religious person right from the beginning. So there's never been any ritual that I followed from the religious perspective, if I should say. Yeah. But then I thought, okay, let me look at it from a different angle, a different perspective. So the first angle has gone by. Yeah. So the second angle would be it in terms of a habit. But then again, I think I just faced a wall there too, because there isn't any habit that I continued for long, so I can't say that I win there again. So then I thought, okay, fine, then let me go to the third angle, if it persists or if it exists there. Because there's one particular thing that you mentioned in your post, that when you posted the theme, and that actually came to my rescue when you said that ritual, in the sense that it impacts you, or in a sense that there's a meaning behind you doing something. So I think that really helped me a bit there, because then I thought back and I thought, okay, what is it then that I do? Do I do something at all? And then I felt that nothing in a sense of a ritual I do, because to me, a ritual is something that I would follow, Rahul, only when it is truth to me, something that stands true, okay, something that is true beyond the boundaries of time, beyond the boundaries of a geographical location, only then I would follow it. But if I say that if I move from here to Chennai, it doesn't stand true, or if I move from here to a different location, it doesn't stand true, then I don't think I'm convinced in it being a truth to me. Sun, it rises, yeah, that is truth to me. So maybe I believe in that, but then otherwise, whichever doesn't stand to me, I have never believed in that, nor did I ever follow it. So what is something that has impacted me is spiritualism, because I feel that that connects us not on the basis of a religion, but on the basis of we being humans, we being people who are impacted in the same manner in terms of emotions, in terms of our fears, okay, in terms of our vulnerabilities, because that is where we actually connect. So if I have to say that what is that one ritual that I follow, then I should say it is connecting with other people around me and seeing beyond other people's superficialities, because when you look at a person, you see something different, but then when you care to really see a person, then you see that he's just like you, okay, with his own story to say, okay, with his own vulnerabilities, with his own fears, with his own breakdowns. Yeah, then I don't think religion is ever a barrier to connect with people. Then I don't think caste is any barrier to connect with people. Then I don't think social status as such is a obstacle, to connect with people, because on that point and at that particular level, we all are just the same. We all have a story to say, and we all are on a particular journey to reach a particular goal. So I think that's the basic thing that I connect with, So that's where ritual comes in for me.
Thank you, Nandana, for sharing that. I think I resonate very deeply with this idea, because what we have been doing for the last 70 weeks is precisely this: no business, just people and stories and perspectives. That's what has helped each one of us who has been regular to this platform has understood and learned from, is to learn from the stories that people have to share, irrespective of, like you said, religion, caste, gender, age, whatever you want to talk of. Thank you for sharing that. Nazneen, we are already at 10:03. Would just like to move on to the people who have still not had a chance to speak. Nazneen? Yes,
hello,
go ahead.
hello everyone. I am Nazneen. It's my first meeting. I like to say that my life is, so difficult in morning to night. I have 3 kids and I have lots of work. So it's very difficult to join meetings, Toastmaster meeting. I can't handle, but I have to, take this class because it's very improve myself. I just complete only 1 month. So I have lots of work. I can't explain. During this class, I am just washing my, dishes, mopping my, I make dinner between this meeting. I want to say that only one thing, that is, first take care of yourself. I am in this time, I'm in diet, 1 meal diet, 24 hours fasting I'm in now, because I want to take care of myself, because when I am fit, I can feed my family. We are Muslims, so we are only all Muslim. I'm talking about all Muslim. We are, have Ramzan. We are only 1 month, leaving fasting. But I want to say that whole Muslims continue your diet, because maintain yourself with fasting. Fasting is a very grateful for your body. So fasting, I'm just saying the fasting is because woman is a family of root, family of root. जब आप अच्छे रहेंगे तो आपकी फैमिली को भी देख सकेंगे. तो फास्टिंग इज a good way to keep yourself very confident. मैं भी फास्टिंग में ही हूँ. मैं लंच करती हूँ and then after 24 मैं लंच करती हूँ. I don't need to maintain myself because I am okay. My age, my everything, I am okay. But I have to maintain because my family. If I am not okay, how can I take care of my family? तो मैं सबसे वही कहना चाहती हूँ कि रमजान के बाद लोग एक ही महीना फास्टिंग करते हैं, उसके बाद फिर साल के आने का ही देखते हैं. तो ऐसा ना करें कि continue yourself, maintain. I have to say like this because I'm just joining this Toastmaster. I can say lots of things because I have English problem. Actually, I don't know आप लोग समझ पा रहे हैं कि नहीं कि मेरी
issues,
English bad.
Nazneen, यहाँ पे there's no limitation. This is not a Toastmasters club and this is not judging on how well you speak.
Okay.
ये प्लेटफॉर्म एक ओपन प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ पे आप अपनी लैंग्वेज में बता सकते हैं. इन केस someone is not able to understand, if it's beyond English and Hindi, किसी को नहीं समझ में आया तो obviously पूछ लेंगे, कोई परेशानी नहीं है. So this is the platform where you can keep coming back.
I want to improve my English. That's only the way I improve my English. But no one
you can surely do that.
can
No
help
issues.
me. No one can help me in my family.
Sure.
To showing myself how what I do want. No one is with me. Toastmaster.
I understand.
Yeah, Toastmaster is very helping me to improve myself in English power and nothing. And यही बोलना है और कुछ नहीं.
Thank you, Nazneen. I think
yourself first.
About the practice which you shared, that what you're doing specifically when you said you follow the ritual rather than just that 1 month of Ramzan. For the rest of the year, if you're having only 1 meal a day, I think that's a wonderful ritual that you're carrying forward. But as you added to it, that you have to take care of yourself to take care of the family as well. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, thank you, sir,
thank
to
you,
give
thank
me
you.
a chance to say myself. Thank you, and thank you all to listening me.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
Nazneen, for sharing your thoughts. Keep coming in, and we are more than happy to listen to what you have to share. Thank you, Pragya.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I am somebody who has got to understand that everything that we do in a day becomes a ritual after a part of time. So, for my family, getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning was a ritual. If they got up late by half an hour, they would feel, oh, we are unwell today, we have got half an hour late. Having that first morning tea with the newspaper was a ritual. One fine day when the newspaper did not come because of rains, the whole day they were frustrated that we haven't read the early morning news, as if the world is going to change within those 24 hours. Although every single day I saw that it was almost the same news in those newspapers, but still it was a ritual. Even to an extent where, my grandfather, maternal grandfather, he used to go for a walk and then come back and play chess at a particular time. So if his partner in chess was late by like 5-10 minutes for the whole game, they will be more grumbling about why this got delayed rather than focusing on the game that day. They will keep playing. If they will have their set moves, the moves have also become rituals for them, but still they will be grumbling as to why this thing happened. And this is something which I learned, that when you convert your choices or the things which you do regularly to your habits, and when their habits convert to something which you cannot live without, that forms ritual of your life, where you feel a vacuum and emptiness of not doing it and missing it that particular day. But one thing which I also learned was that though ritual is a very positive word, but we also form rituals of negativities in us. So the drinkers who drink every single day, the smokers who smoke after 2 hours, it's a ritual for them, though not good, but it is a ritual. If they do not smoke for those 2 hours, they'll be like, oh, we have missed on something. So that's something which I learned. But on a personal note, there is one ritual in the Hindu marriage that we usually follow. Is there is a kind of a thread which is tied before the marriage to a groom on his left hand and to a bride also, and that has 7 knots. And after the marriage is done and everything is done, then they are supposed to open each knot by knot. And that is the first connecting activity which happens between the husband and the wife at that point of time. And I particularly love that ritual because with each knot, it is told by the elders in the family that these are the different kind of problems that you both are going to face in your life. And because you are opening these knots, you're promising that person that the way I am opening these ties in your life, I will also try to solve all the problems that are coming your way, and I will never leave it, how much ever difficult that knot is. So that is one ritual which I loved doing during my wedding also. And the best part of that ritual is that wife is supposed to use both the hands to open, and husband is supposed to use only one hand. So that's the privilege given to the wives at that point of time too, that you can choose however you want to choose the solve the problem, and the husband has only one way to solve the problem. So we are trained from the start. That's it.
Thank you, Pragya, for taking the session by the storm every time you come in, and all the effort that I have for the entire hour is sidelined. Thank you for sharing that, Pragya, for those wonderful inputs and ideas on rituals. With that, we are coming to an end. If anyone else has to share anything, who has not got a chance, would like to share the stage with you. Anyone who's still not got a chance, I think most of the people who are here have already got a chance. Wonderful, good. Nitesh, if you would like to share anything. Nitesh? Okay. Anyone else would like to share anything before I get to the close of the session? Anything that you have experienced from the session, about your own learning from the session? Just unmute and speak up. Yes, Rashmi, unmute kar diya, bolo.
Yes, I would like to request everyone, whatever you are doing, with feeling, with like a spirit, with emotions, that is ritual. Even communication. If you are reading some page without there is feeling, then there is no meaning. So even communication also with feeling is a ritual. So
wonderful.
I feel like this, every part of life, every action you should do with feeling, with spirit, and that is the ritual.
Thank you, Dr. Rashmi, for that wonderful closing note. Anyone else would like to share anything? Any feedback for the session? Any ideas that you have about your experience? Yes, Akanksha, go ahead.
I really like this session, sir, because even I'm not that much of a religious person. I'm just forced to go to the temple. Some occasion should be there. Until and unless, then I won't go. So despite all that too, all the perspectives that were shared here today were really interesting. Rather than some meaningless rituals, they also share the meaning behind why the ritual is there in that specific religion. So that was something really interesting to learn about. Thank you
Wonderful.
so much for the session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Uma ma'am.
I just wanted to share one more ritual now that Dasara or Navaratri is coming up. I have been keeping dolls for the past maybe 25 plus years. Every year during Navaratri, just 2 to 3 days before, I just arrange the steps. That only takes almost 1 day or 2 days. And then keeping the dolls takes another 1 or 2 days. So there is so much enthusiasm when I keep the dolls. I picked up this tradition from my mother-in-law. And initially I was wondering why they are keeping this. Why is this tradition of keeping the dolls? But later I realized that one thing, our creativity, there is a, opportunity to exhibit the talent and creativity of the lady of the house, how she decorates, how she assembles the dolls. Then the second thing, we are honoring the goddess. Like the dolls are kept in odd numbers usually, in 7 steps, 9 steps, or 5 steps. So the topmost 2 steps are reserved for all gods. The next 2 steps may be for the produce of whatever human beings, the plants and the grains, all that is given the next 2 steps. And then come the human beings, and then the birds and animals. So we are finally honoring the creator. Whatever he has created, we are just exhibiting everything and honoring the creator. And it's also an opportunity to make people gather. So many people come to our house. There's a connectivity happening, and it's a social gathering. And people praise you for having kept the dolls so creatively. So I learned that there are so many things in this. Initially, I didn't know the meaning. And now we also recite Lalita Sahasranamam on those days. So that also adds vibration to the 9 days, where you honor Durga, Saraswati, Lakshmi on all the 9 days. So it's a great feeling, and I always look forward to Dasara. So it is a, victory of evil. I mean, you win always against evil, and that is Dasara. No?
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Dasara in advance now that it is approaching, and session was very meaningful. We learned a lot of things.
Thank you. Thank you. I think Shreya shared in the chat as well that she recites the same Lalita Sahasra Naman through these 9 days. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. Anyone else would like to share anything? Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Rahul, what I think the take home, or to sum up, what I learned today is that ritual is something we do regularly. That is one thing. And there need not be religious. Okay. There are rituals like, I read newspaper also every day. It is not a part of my religion. I do yoga, and that also is not part of my religion. Okay. I feed cats every day for more than 2 years now. So that is one thing. And somebody shared, I forgot that name. That's a very good point. Rituals could be positive as well as negative. That is one thing. And she gave a very good example of smoking and drinking. That's one thing that we do regularly. One more thing that you shared, that is the main point. Ritual done without knowing the reason is just an act. If you want to be benefited with the ritual you are doing, you should know why you are doing that. What's the benefit of that? What's the purpose behind that? That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sadi sir. Thank you for highlighting your takeaways, and I think that should sum up for everyone. Pragya would like to share anything, and after that, I'll close the session for today. Pragya?
So as for any special session, I add a few lines from my side. But this time I don't have them in English. I hope all of you understand Hindi. If you want, I'll convert it in later on in English as much as I can. So these lines say कि रस्मों रिवाजों को रूहों में रखो, दिलों को मनों को जोड़ने को रखो. जिस दिन ये रस्में तोड़ दे लोगों को, इन रस्मों को किसी एक कोने में रखो. हर रोज सुबह उठकर कुछ करना है वो तो सोचते हो, रस्में भी रोज निभाते हो, पर क्या कभी इन्हें सच में जी पाते हो? इन रस्मों रिवाजों को रूहों में रखो, हर एक रस्मों का जो एक अर्थ है उसे याद रखो, वरना इन रस्मों रिवाजों को एक कोने में रखो।
बहुत खूब, माशाअल्लाह, सुभान
लग
अल्लाह।
गया। मैं और कुछ नहीं बोल पाऊंगा अभी, बस खा गई, पूरी सेशन खा गई, मेरा पूरा सेशन वेस्ट हो गया। राबिया, गो अहेड।
No, I just wanted to say her so beautifully said. She summed up
Okay.
so well. Thank you.
Thank you indeed. Wonderful summary to what we have learned today about rituals and the things that we do, why we do, and how it benefits us. Hopefully, each one of you all have had your takeaway from the session about something that you have learned new about what someone else does, and possibly you could have found the reasons to start doing that ritual for your own self with the benefit that is experienced that's out there. So with that, we come to an end for the session. And I would like to close the usual way, and I'll stay back after stopping the recording and closing the session.
I'll say one thing, may I?
Yes, go ahead, Rabia.
Yeah, just few lines.
Haan, bolo.
In this busy old world, we may often appear to neglect or forget, but we still hold dear. And this little message is coming to say that throughout the week, we look forward for Saturdays. That is living life. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabia, for those kind words, and as always, for the gratitude that you show towards the club and how we are like a family. Like I said last time, the idea of what we want each one of you all to take away from every speak up session that we organize is one simple thing: sleep on a Saturday night with a gratitude and the feeling that I am living life. I think let me
Have
close
some
the
water,
session.
Rahul.
Yeah, I think it'll take another time. I'll just close the session in the meantime and then wait for everyone to stay back and enjoy.
Thank you.
With that, I come
Thank
to
you
the
very
close the usual way. Saturday nights have never been this beautiful. For the last 70 Saturday nights now, it's been an honor to have you sharing this space with us, sharing your perspective, listening to us, our perspective, and gaining new perspectives every time. Thank you for the love that you keep coming back and sharing this space with us. See you all next Saturday, 9 p.m. again. Good night and have a
Good night. Have a
wonderful week
nice
ahead.
weekend.